Hello, everybody. I hope you had a wonderful New Year celebration. It's so good to be back in this new year, 2023. So exciting. So, every year, I have a tradition of sharing my winter protocol for the year with you guys. And so, I've been working on this for the last few months and really perfecting it. And I'm going to share it with you guys today. My reason for sharing it with you is not because I want you to do exactly what I do. In fact, for many of you, you're going to feel like all the steps and the products I use are way too much for you. So you don't have to do as much as I do. You can do select parts of this and still get really great results. I have all this at my fingertips. I'm that glorified skincare junkie, and I don't mind using a lot of steps, but I can simplify this for those clients that need it. But what I want to do today is show you, kind of walk you through as if I'm doing a healthy aging protocol, which we do on our website, we do for our clients. I'm going to show you, kind of walk you through doing that on myself and what my skin's going on with my skin. Every year, my protocol changes. Every season, I change my protocol. I like to change with the seasons because weather conditions change, my sun exposure changes, and the skin just changes and it needs new foods. It needs fresh things each season to feed it and really keep it at its optimal best for beauty and for health. So, right off the bat, let's get started talking about my skin. So, I'm 59 years old. I'll be 60 in March. And what I see going on for my skin at this stage of my life, some things are just the same, a continuation of the same, but some a little more than others. And one of the things that I see big changes in this last year was my neck, my jawline and the firmness of my jawline, and more lines around my lips, and some deepening lines around my eye area. And so, a big game changer for me that I'll just tell you right off the bat over this last year was the Emma. I feel like my neckline is firmer, my jawline's firmer now than it was a year ago. And so that's very exciting for me. And knowing that I've been on Emma for a year, my skin's ready for a little bit of a change and a little boost. So I am boosting the Emma products in my protocol this time. So I am a normal combination skin type. I have definitely visible pores through the T zone. If I am putting too heavy of products on my skin and my skin can't breathe, or generally that's what happens. If I'm putting too heavy products on and my skin can't breathe, I start to really see some sagging on my skin and the pores. And I often talk about that. My pores start to sag. And what I mean by that is just the pores start to look kind of droopy. They start to look a little bit large. So the texture of the skin is just kind of weakening, and I can see that all over on the skin. And so that's one of the things that I address, is really using products that balance out the oil production. I don't have an overabundance of oil, but I do have some larger pores, so I do need some help with keeping those pores clean and toned, and yet still allowing my skin to breathe without over drying it. So I'm going to share with you the products that I use to do that. Now, another little concern that I always have, talk to you guys about it a lot, is I have hyperpigmentation. So I get it around my neck, I get it on my face. I've definitely been working on my summer hyperpigmentation. I started working on it probably late August, early September. And so my skin is much brighter all over, but I still have some residual little dark areas that I'm working on. It's hard for you guys to see in camera light. Oh, and I love this. I love it when I get a pimple. Isn't it crazy? But then I can show you guys what I do with the pimple. I just don't get them that often, but I definitely had stress through the holidays, and I ate a lot of junk food. So my intestines are messed up. I put on 3 pounds and it is coming out my skin. So I have a nice blemish up here, and I have another one right in this area over here. So I'll show you what I do with that as well. I don't treat my skin as if I'm acne prone, because I'm not acne prone. But When I was younger and I had a regular monthly cycle, I would get a little breakout here or there, usually around my T-zone on my nose. And that breakout would usually clear up within a day or two, come to a head and be gone. It wasn't very big. And then occasionally when I have really big stress, I'll get one like this, or it'll be on usually on one of my cheeks. Over here, I'll get a deeper red bump that takes a little bit longer to go away. But I'm not really acne prone. It's just that everybody can get a blemish. Everybody, our skin is our biggest organ of detoxification. So stuff is going to come out through our skin when we're stressed out or our diet's just off. So let's dive in now. Knowing that I have this normal combination skin type, I'm menopausal. I haven't had a menstruation in probably 4 years since I've had a cycle. And so definitely I've got some estrogen loss in my skin. I have skin that's getting more and more dry. Even though I have that larger pores in the T-zone, I'm getting more and more dry as my skin gets more estrogen depleted. So I'm really looking at products that address those issues in my skin. So let's start with the very basics of what we need for healthy skin, and that is cleanser. Super important for cleanser. And when I'm looking for cleanser for my skin type, I'm generally not looking for a heavy acid cleanser because I want to use some nice actives and correctives in the right spots in my routine. During the daytime, I'm going to use it as a serum with my moisturizer. And then at nighttime, I'm going to use a corrective serum and a night cream. So I want to be able to have those acids and retinols in my regular protocol. I don't necessarily want to put them in my skincare routine as far as cleansing. I want to leave, I don't want to overstrip the skin. I don't want to get too active with it before I get to those steps of really doing the correcting. So when I'm looking for a cleanser, I like enzyme cleansers. I like gentle cleansers, maybe a little lactic acid in a cleanser, because the enzymes and the lactic acid are going to help break up those dead skin cells on the surface and also break the surface tension so that moisture can get into my skin. For me, cleansing is a lot about opening the skin up, getting moisture and rehydrating the skin. It's also about, though, those pores and keeping those pores really nice and clean. So what I like to use on a regular basis, I often use the Nelly DeVos. I love Nelly DeVos cleansing foam, so you'll see it on my protocol. And just so you guys know, in the description, I don't have the whole protocol listed. It's too long to fit in a YouTube description box, but you can click the link. It'll take you to my website and it'll lay it all out for you there so you can see exactly what I'm talking about. So as far as cleansers go, I love the micellar foams. I love the Nelly DeVos micellar foam. She also has a bioacne micellar foam. Sometimes I use that one as well. What I love about this cleanser is that it's aloe based. So aloe vera has naturally occurring enzymes in it. And those enzymes are what are so good for going in and breaking up the oil and the cellular debris in the pores to keep me from getting clogged up pores or a lot of sebaceous filaments going on. I love this cleanser because it is a cleanser and toner all in one. If you wanted to, you could just apply this and wipe it off. You don't even have to use water with it. I like to use some water, so I will tend to use one of our clean wipes, one of the dry ones. I get it wet, and then I remove this foam from my skin. But anytime you are in a pinch, traveling, or if I want to clean a kid's face or I want to clean my dog's beard and I don't have water to rinse, I grab this. And I love to use this in the bathtub. I use it next to the sink. It's just one of my very favorite cleansers. So today I'm just going to wipe off. Now, I didn't bring with me, so I left it in my bathroom, the other Nelly DeVos Biotense cleanser, which is the gel cleanser. I love that one. That is a little higher in the aloe vera. I keep it next to my bathtub, and that's what I wash my face with when I am in the bathtub. And again, it has all that aloe vera, so the natural enzymes and that aloe vera go to work and really soften up the skin, help remove dead skin cells and any oil or debris that's built up in the pores, but it does it without over drying me. actually just really softens the skin so that the water can get into the skin. I love actually putting a bit of that cleanser just in my bath water because it will make my whole body softer, but it's very gentle. So those are two of my favorite cleansers. Now you guys know that I love to use the MBK Wave. And this is what I like to cleanse with in the morning. So I will often use the Gentle Cleanser from Botnia. And I love this cleanser because it has a really nice slip. Smells really good too. I love things that smell great in the morning, but this has a really nice slip to it. So it works really well with my MBK Wave on my face, really getting the skin clean, but then also really driving good water and hydration into my skin. So those are three cleansers that I love, and you'll see them on my protocol. We have a lot of cleansers that I love at Art of Skincare, and I tend to cycle through the different cleansers throughout the year, depending on what's going on with my skin. So these are just the three that I've chosen for this season, and I'm finding they're working really well for me. When I get to toner, I love at this time of year when it's drier out, I don't want to use an acidic or active toner. In the summer months, I more often will use a brightening pigment lotion or a brightening toner, something with a little more active and acids in it. But in this wintertime, I like to use Nelly DeVos. This is the Biotense pH toner. So what I love about this toner is, again, it's very high in aloe vera. And also with you guys, with these containers, everything is recycled plastic. They're just very green. Everything's organic and it's eco-certified. It's very expensive to get these certifications that they have on their organic products. And they're fantastic. So the Biotense toner, I like to put that on a toner pad. Has that high level of aloe vera. So we know aloe vera is soothing, but aloe vera also is high in those naturally occurring enzymes and acids. So this not only balances my skin, but that added bit of aloe vera is going to go in and provide some extra toning in my pores to keep my skin really nice and firm. And the way I do that is I squirt it on the pad like I just did. Then I apply the pad to my wave and I put this little silicone thing over the top. And then I turn it on. I'm going to go to mode and I'm going to do Sonic, the highest level, 5. And then this is more of a nourishing toner. I'm using it that way. If I was using it as an acid toner to do more corrective work, I would use it on plus. But because I'm doing more nourishing with this, I'm going to go ahead and use it on negative. I'm going to go there, turn it on to 5. And then I always do massage. It just feels good. And then because I'm covering up the lights, I'm not going to even use the LED portion of this. And then I'm going to hit confirm. That turns it on. And then I use it with the toner pad all over my face, my neck, the back of my neck, everywhere. I love the scent of this. It's just so very natural and light. It smells like aloe vera, just fresh aloe vera. And it's great. So that's how I do my toner. And I'm going to turn this off now. Next step that I go to after toner. So let's talk about daytime. In the daytime, for everyone's skin, I grab peptides and I grab antioxidants. We want those antioxidants so we have that protection from collagen loss and from skin damage. So we want to get those antioxidants on in the morning. And then the peptides. I want to grab those freezing peptides, those peptides that help reduce lines and wrinkles, and I want to get those on my face during the daytime. So what I use each day, once I've done my toning, I grab Neogenesis Recovery Serum. You guys know me, this is my staple. Even if all my other products change throughout the year, I never stop using Neogenesis Recovery. This has those stem cell cytokines in it that just really go to work keeping my cells healthy and regenerating at a faster pace. It helps with healing. speeds up. So I think I just said that speeds up cell regeneration, um, reduces redness, helps with the integrity and the strength of the skin and the capillaries, just so many things. This is like a multivitamin pill that I have to take every day, and I put it on my skin every morning. Now, the next two serums that I use from Nelly DeVost. This is the lifting complex or lifting peptides. This is loaded with vitamin C and peptides for reducing the lines and wrinkles on the face. It also has a good burst of vitamin C in it, which I really like. And then I'm using Emapel serum over the top. You guys aren't going to be able to see this. I think it's pretty blown out today in the light. The Emapel serum has MEP, so that's going in and addressing the estrogen loss of my skin. It's binding with estrogen receptors so that my skin thinks it has the estrogen it needs, and that encourages it to keep producing the right amount of collagen that I need. So I've got my MEP in here. I have vitamin C in here. So those of you who haven't ever used Emapel before, you probably wouldn't start with both of these. You would start with just this one, and you'll get great results with it. Like I said, I'm in year 2 on my Emapel, and I wanted to boost it this year, so I'm playing with it, and I'm doing the 2 of these. I love this. Adding in the second one, just using this, I saw a lot of firmness and change in my skin. Then I wanted to do more. So I wanted to see more lifting and firming around my neckline. Also, I was getting some dark pigmentation in the lines on my neck, and bringing the combination of these two together really made a difference for me in that area. This lifting peptides are some of the most advanced. It's one of the most advanced formulas I have found for peptides lifting, brightening, and firming the skin. So this has been an excellent combination for me. So as you can see, I have the three-step serums going in the morning. And like I said, not everyone needs to do this many steps. It's just what I choose to do and how I do it. So let it inspire you. Don't let it overwhelm you. Now, the next thing that I do is put on moisturizer. And so this is where, and I didn't mention, I'm going to do eyes last. This is what I do during the daytime. I do my eyes after moisturizer. So I've got my Neogenesis, and I do a 2-step moisturizing. So I use the intensive moisturizer all over. I love how this gives my skin a big drink of water. My skin just feels really moist and plump and lovely. And then I'm putting on Neogenesis Barrier Renewal Cream on top. There's one more serum that I do at home when I'm doing my, let me see, I think I left it over here in my basket. Oh, it's probably my microcurrent. Phew, found it. All right, so let's back up a little bit. So oftentimes what I do is I put on those 3 serums. Let me show them to you again, just to be repetitive. Don't want to be too redundant here, but I've got my recovery on. I've got my lifting peptides, and then I put on my Emapel serum. And then I love to use my wave to drive more hydration in my skin. So that's when I grab Michelle Corley's Ultimate Hydration Gel. And this is just what really pulls all of it together and plumps up. So doing these two together on top of those serums is going to drive those serums deeper into my skin, and the plumpness is just out of this world. So I just apply some of the hydration gel, and then I'm taking my wave and I'm going on over it using the ion negative, because ion negative is what's going to push product into my skin. So once I've done that, I just work over the skin with this for a few minutes. If I want to keep going and it's feeling good, I want to go a little longer, I'll grab my Botnia 12 hands. Or if you have Lemieux Isocell Recovery Solution, you could do that. But I love my 12 hands. I'm going to spritz my skin with 12 hands, or I also have Botnia's Rose Toner, Rose Water Toner. So either one of those works great. So I will mist with that on top of the gel and then work that into the skin. Now, you guys will learn, and I'll be doing more examples of how I mix things up in future episodes. But this is my standard basic as I'm using the wave every day. There are days when I will pull out my tri-wave microcurrent and I will do microcurrent with this routine. But for today, I'm showing you how to do it with the wave. So once I have worked in the hydration gel to the point where it's now dry, no longer has any more slip, that's when I grab my two Neogenesis buddies that I can't live without. So I'm grabbing the intensive moisturizer. I put that on first, and then I put barrier renewal cream over the top. The barrier renewal cream is what protects you from transepidermal water loss. So I put all this great stuff on my skin, but if I don't protect it from water loss, around 1 o'clock in the afternoon, when I look in the mirror, that plumpness is gone. And I don't have that same glow that I had when I first started in the morning. So by adding the barrier renewal in there, that's giving me that extra protection from the environment, especially if you're in rooms with a heater going now, you're in a car with a heater blowing on you, all those things will dehydrate your skin. Adding a layer of barrier renewal on top of everything else gives you that extra bit of protection that you need to keep the skin really moist and plump all day long. So once I do those, then I'm brushing my teeth. And when I'm done brushing my teeth, I have a two-step that I do every single day. And that is I'm grabbing my Michelle Corley's Revitalizing Peptide and Stem Cell Eye Gel. And I've got my Is Clinical Youth Lip Elixir. And I've got my MBK Eye Rejuvenator. So the way I start with this is when you first get out your eye rejuvenator in the morning, it feels it's cold. You know, this is a metal tip, it's cold. And I actually like that cold around my eyes because I feel like it depuffs. So I put 1 drop of Michelle Corley's Peptide Eye Gel in my hand. I do 1 drop for each eye. And then I get it nice and wet, and I just work this into my eye area. So I tried, doing it before when I do my serums and before my moisturizer, but I don't know what it is with my brain. But I never remember to do this till after I have all my moisturizers on, and it still works out just fine. So I'm going to do some massaging around here. I'm going to do a bit of lifting. One thing I like to do, and I like to lift from the inside as well. And I like to smile. And then I can see where my little smile lines are, and I work it in that area. If I lose my slip, I grab some more, and I work it in some more in that area. So the areas for me, I'm getting some cross-hatching lines across this portion of my eyes. And then I get, of course, my smile lines going over here. And then on this side, I actually get lines that go up this way as well. I've also got my kitty cat lines, and I get this line in between here. So I start first on one eye. Then I'm going to grab the dropper, get another drop, and do the other eye. First of all, just spreading it and then working it around. Doing some lifting from the inside. Some lifting from the outside. And I do some lifting underneath the brow and hold, lift and hold above the brow as well. Especially on this eye where I had a boating accident as a kid. So I have extra wrinkles that want to go up this way on this eye. So I'm going to get those, and I smile and get those smile lines over here. And then I come into the middle. I get a little bit more, and I do the 11 in the middle. Some back and forth massaging. And then I get in here and I work the little kitty whisker lines on either side here. This only works as long as you still have slip. So if you need more slip, get more of the eye gel out and add more slip. Now, a common muscle for all of us that gets atrophied runs this direction through here. So I kind of work my way down, and I do a bit of work on either side on that muscle that likes to get atrophied in there. Just waking it up, getting some ATP in there, getting good circulation going in there. Now my device is really nice and warm, and that's the way I like to use it around my lips. So I take the leftover gel and I work that all around my lip area. And I do this every day because I think my lips, to me, are the thing that, maybe bothers me the most about aging. And I don't like, even though I've never smoked, and many of you will know that you'd never smoke a day in your life, but you'll get these vertical lines above your lips. So I really like to work on those. Once I've worked on those with the peptide, grab my towel, I keep dropping. Then I grab my Youth Lip Elixir and I turn it so that I've got a nice big dollop on the tip. You can kind of see that there. Put it on my lip. And then I use my rejuvenator with that heat. And I'm really going to work that into that lip area where the lines are. You can get in and actually even work a bit under the lip, lifting it up this way. Really getting on that lip and all around. Had a little bit of lip gloss on, so we're just going to work the lip gloss in with it today. Normally you wouldn't do this after lip gloss, but I want to show you guys how it works. So for me, I know that if I skip this step all day, my lips are going to look thinner. Those lines are going to stand out more. This really increases the vermilion line. So the pinkness around the lips, the definition of the lips is better. And all of the tissue around the mouth is just nice and plump and juicy. Now, does this erase those lines so that they're gone forever? No. It's not going to do that. I'm not some people like to go get fillers and injections put in their lips. I'm not someone who's going to do that, but this is a good alternative for someone who doesn't want to do that or someone who wants to support the injections that they've had and keeping that area really healthy. So for me, this is a good alternative and I like the results I get. It's a nice natural plumpness and the skin tissue is really soft and healthy. So these three little puppies are like my favorite things, especially in the dry winter months. I just can't live without those three. So that is my lip treatment. Of course, during the day, I'm not going to go without using sunscreen. If I do, even on these cloudy days like we're having today, I will pick up dark pigmentation. All that pigmentation I'm working on getting rid of is going to come right back. So I've got to put this on every single day. And this is Eclipse from Is Clinical, and I use the Perfect Beige tint in that. Now let's talk about nighttime, because at nighttime, I'm doing a different routine. So in the morning, I'm concentrating on those peptides and antioxidants and protection and nourishment for my skin. At nighttime, I'm thinking a bit more about correction. How do I correct some of the things? How do I give my skin that kind of challenge that it needs to be at its best? So at nighttime, I'm often I remove my makeup with the Clean Skin Club wipes. And then I grab one of my cleansers. It's either going to be my Nelly DeVos foam cleanser or my Nelly DeVos gel cleanser, depending on if I'm hopping in the bathtub that night or if I'm cleansing at the sink. If I'm at the sink, I'm going to use my foam. Just rinses so easily. You don't have to use a ton of water to get it off. When you use a cleanser at the sink, you've got to use a lot of water to get all of that cleanser off so that it's not leaving a residue on the skin that's drying you out. So I love using a foam cleanser at the sink because it removes so easily without having to use a ton of water. If I'm in the bathtub, that's when I'm grabbing my Nelly DeVos gel cleanser. It's the aloe vera gel cleanser. And that one is the one that I even like putting a little bit in my bath water. It really adjusts the pH in there and it makes my whole body, the skin, all really soft and really helps my skin to take a big drink of water. Now, when I get out, I am using, knocking everything over. When I get out of the bathtub or I'm done washing my face, that's when I dive into my corrective routine. And I don't tend to use, you can use, but I don't tend to use my toners at night. I use my correctives as toners. So at nighttime, I have a few things that I'm using here. I'm going to show you guys. I'm not sure if I completely, I'll check it, but I'm not sure if I listed Natural Mega Brightening Serum on the protocol when I turned it over to everybody to print out on the website for you guys. So I'll check and make sure I did. But because I've been using the Emapel night cream for a year, this has a couple of different kinds of retinol in it. It has that important MEP in it. It has peptides in it. It's super moisturizing, so it's giving me the hydration I need. But my skin was ready for a bump. I couldn't have bumped it on the first year I was using this, or I would have had, I tried a couple times. You know, I shared with you guys, I got little rashes from the retinol here and there. And it was just too much, too fast. So a solid year with the Emapel by itself. And then I added in Rhonda Allison's Retinol Supreme. I love this retinol. It's an L-retinol, so it's chirally correct. It's encapsulated, so that makes it a little more gentle. And it also has lactic acid in it. So the lactic acid and that encapsulated retinol just work beautifully together. So this is what I'm using instead of toner at nighttime is I'm putting on the Retinol Supreme all over, and then I layer on top of it my Emapel night cream. Now, as I've done that, my skin has lightened up all over, except I have a few little dark spots that are just my really troublesome persnickety spots. And what happens when you start lightening and brightening the skin all over, those particular spots will stand out more. And sometimes you'll think, oh, it's making it worse. These are standing out more now. Well, they're not standing out more. What's really happening is you're lightening everything else up so much that those spots then stand out more than they did. When you're tan all over and you've got a dark spot and you've got tan with it, it kind of blends it and camouflages it. But as we remove all that tanned skin, those persnickety dark spots are going to show up a bit more. So that's when I've grabbed Natural Mega Brightening Serum. So what I'm doing now is I'm alternating nights. One night I'll put this Natural Mega Brightening Serum just on the areas where I'm working on the dark pigmentation, around the neck, chest, the back of the hands, and the spots on my face. I let it dry so that it can be fully active on the skin. And then I'm putting my Emapel night cream over the top of it. So I'm doing an every other night thing. One night it's Retinol Supreme with my Emapel. The next night it's my Natural Mega Brightening Serum with my Emapel. Then for my eye product, I love Neogenesis Eye Serum. So I have, let's see, I have the 4. I was counting how many I have here. I have a Neogenesis 4 that I can't live without. So that would be Neogenesis Eye Serum, Neogenesis Recovery, and then I have my Intensive Moisturizer and my Barrier Renewal Cream. These are the 4 that pretty much never leave my routine, even when I'm changing everything else up. So nighttime is when I like to use my Neogenesis Eye Serum. I have used it day and night, and that works too, but I've really gotten into this groove using my MBK Eye Rejuvenator. And while you can use it with this gel doesn't have as much slip. So I really love using Michelle Corley's when I'm using my Eye Rejuvenator. Plus, Michelle Corley's has all those antioxidants in it and those peptides for erasing those wrinkles and the tension in the skin. Where my eye serum from Neogenesis is going more to work on that cellular level to really have firmer, healthier tissue. So what I always say, this is what you start to see in 5 weeks. You put this on and most people are going to see a difference right away, but the most difference is going to start to be seen 5 weeks because it takes 5 weeks for those healthier cells to rise and come up to the surface of the skin. So I'm using this day at nighttime, and I use it all the way over my eyelid because I have some sagging going on. I have some bit of texture going on my eyelids. So I'm using this all the way around my eyes at nighttime. And I really love that. It works great for me. Now, one thing that I did skip, and you'll see it in my routine, is during the daytime, I will often use the eye gel and then I put another cream on top of it. And I found that for a while I didn't have to do that. And some of you are younger than me may not have to do that. But as I get older and finding my skin needs that extra support. So I grab daily either Botania's eye cream or Michelle Corley's botanical eye cream. And I'm using one of those after I have used my eye rejuvenator with the eye gel. And this is just to give my skin that extra moisture protection and protect it from that water loss. I know that I've had people reach out to me and want to know, well, can I just use my moisturizer to protect in that area, my regular face moisturizer, barrier renewal cream or intensive? And I have to tell you, I've tried doing that. They're just not the same. They're not designed for that delicate eye area. And once you reach a certain level of aging process going on around your eye area, it's going to be the eye creams that make a difference in that area. So with me and Art of Skincare, we're all about visibly seeing improvements in the skin. And if I could get that by just using my day creams on my eyes, I would do it. But I don't get that. So I have to do a layering process. And, it's interesting because as we age, we all start to layer, right? We put on our serums and then we put on a moisturizer on top. And one of the first areas that you start to see aging is around the eyes. That's when people reach out to me in their 30s, is the eye area, and they start to add an eye cream usually at that point. And what I have to say to you is once you get into those 40s, you're going to start finding that you need your eye serum under your eye cream. So you're going to just need to step up your game a little bit if you want to, and have a 2-step regimen for your eyes, just like you do for the rest of your face. So that has been really helpful for me. I think that I didn't really worry that much about my eyes. I didn't see that much going on until later in my 40s and then in my 50s. And now getting closer and closer to 60, I'm definitely seeing the need for some things to really boost my eye care. And that is using the eye rejuvenator and using a 2-step method with my eyes, getting an eye serum on there and then putting an eye cream on top of that to really have the best results that I can get. Looking at my routine, seeing if there's anything I might have missed. Well, I did get to use this today. This is Nellie DeVos Hygieia. Hygieia is not for somebody who's acne prone, but for those of us who aren't acne prone, who occasionally get a blemish, this is that miracle cure, because I'll put this on the spot and tomorrow it'll be gone. This red spot up here and the one over here, and it smells really good. I put this in my bathtub sometimes because I just love the scent of it so much. And so I'm just going to put one little dot of that on this spot up here. I'm going to find this one over here. I can find it by touching it. Actually, I put it on earlier and the swelling is almost gone to where I can barely feel where it is now. But I love Hygieia. And so Hygieia is great for those of us who aren't acne prone, but get those occasional blemishes due to playing too much, not being good with our bodies. So, or stressing too much, right? So a couple other things you're going to see in my protocol that I list the vitamins that I take. Can go over those on another day. I also list my body care routine, and I didn't want to bring everything, but I grabbed a few things that I really love just to show you guys. One of them, I just love the scent, and I love cleansing with this. It's non-drying. This is from Farmhouse Fresh, and it's called Sunshine Silk. And you keep it in the shower upside down. The little flip cap here disperses it out. And I just love washing with this. It makes my whole bathroom smell wonderful. And that really works for me. The other thing that I use in the shower is for feminine care. Care for your vagina, right? No other way to say it, but there's a cleansing foam. Keep it in my shower. This is all that I use to cleanse that delicate area. It's pH balanced and it's super gentle. And as you throughout all your age. Even my granddaughter, who's only 7, and when she started using this when she was 6. Everybody has sensitive skin down there, and some people more sensitive than others. But the cleansing foam does that job of cleansing that area, but keeping it pH balanced and not causing any irritation, burning, or stinging. Once I've rinsed that off, then I use the gel. This is a pH soothing gel. There's also a skin firming gel that I like to use. And I just put some of this on my hand, wipe it on that area, and just leave it there. And that really tones the area, soothes the area, and really gives you that extra protection for pH. Because when our pH is off down there, it causes all kinds of problems throughout our whole body, from headaches and achy pain to full-on infections in that area. So just wanted to share with you that that's just a super important, essential part of my skincare routine. And then I can't go without mentioning Rhonda Allison's BioReform 28. We finally got it back in the big tubes. She was out of it all summer in these tubes, but I love this stuff. This is what redensifies that skin on the arms, the chest, the neck. Can't live without this. Even on the legs, smoothing the skin on the legs. If your skin gets crepey on the leg area, this stuff is amazing. So I just had to let you guys know about that. It's got 28 active ingredients in it. Kind of the thing I've been treating myself with in my shower routine. Where is it? Here it is from Sorella. Really love this, the body balm and the body nectar. And I apply these after I get out of the shower with my skin still damp. And I tend to do it the opposite of the way it says on my protocol, even, and the way they say to do it. But I love to put the oil right onto wet skin, and then I apply the moisturizer on top of that. And the scent of this is just a really nice, fresh, light orange. Feels really good. It leaves your body so soft. The body cream is an anti-aging body balm, so you've got those good anti-aging ingredients in there, and just makes your body feel really nice and soft and not itchy. So I had to bring attention to those. I'm going to dive in with you guys now to questions, because I've been seeing here this line of questions growing longer and longer. I'm sure there's some things that I've forgotten. You guys will probably ask me questions that'll trigger my memory on some different things. And so let's go up here and dive in. Yes. Nani says, I'm so dry with the heater blowing inside the office and house. Yes, that's why that Berry Renewal Cream, really layering things. I also love the Replenish oil or Wisdom oil. I love the Wisdom oil from Botania. Sometimes I'll just put a bit of that on top of everything else. Sometimes I'll go to bed at night with that on top of everything else, just giving my skin that extra barrier protection that it needs. Yes. And thank you. Diva says, you look good for 59. Thank you. Noni wants to know what the list of the products. So the products are not going to be listed in YouTube, because the YouTube is not long enough for this big whole protocol. So there is a link in the description. Just click on that link. It'll take you to my website, and there you have the whole list. You can cut and paste it, print it, do whatever you want with it. But it's all living on my website this time. And then, oh yeah, you and Ben took care of it already. Noni says, I'm 60 and unfortunately menopause seems to never stop taking away moisture and collagen. Yes. So when you hit menopause, most people it's around 50. For me, it was 55. But that first 5 years of menopause, you lose 30% of your collagen, and then you lose 5% per year after that. The only thing we've found to reverse that is the Emapel system. So it doesn't matter if you're in your 50s, 60s, 70s, even your 80s. I've had clients go on this 2-step system, and we see visible improvements to the firmness of their skin. It makes such a big difference. So I highly recommend starting there. Start with the Emapel serum, the Emapel Night Cream. There's also an Emapel Eye Cream. And you can get a set at Art of Skincare that also includes an antioxidant serum that I love to put underneath those, the night cream when you're first starting out, because it really buffers that retinol and helps your skin to adjust to using retinol. So you might want to look for that set with the free serum in there. Let's see. Sarah says, don't you need conductive gel every time you apply a serum while using Rejuvenator? So you do need a gel that will conduct. And so from Michelle Corley, this revitalizing peptide stem cell eye gel, this conducts. It is a gel that will conduct for you as long as you keep it moist and wet, reapply some, or spritz some Lemieux isocell recovery solution on it to give it that slip. Want to keep that slip going, and it works great. So that answers that question for you. She says, how would you use the Neogenesis for eyes, Emapel for eyes, and Botnia for eyes, and Scopula for eyes, and the Rejuvenator? Okay, so I would use, let's see, we've got Neogenesis, we've got Emapel, Botnia, and then the Scopula. Got a lot going on. That's okay. So the Neogenesis is the only serum that you have, or gel that you have. So that one you can use with your Rejuvenator first. Whatever you do, use that one first, because it's going to conduct the microcurrent, and that microcurrent is going to increase ATP in the cells and really firm and nourish those underlying cells. Now, once you've used that, then you could use any one of the other ones. You could use the Botnia one, or you can use the Emapel one, and I have that one at home too. And sometimes I grab that one, but I kind of have a similar to you. I've got the Emapel, then the Botnia, and then you have the Scopula Eye. Choose one of those and put that on after you've put on the more conductive Neogenesis eye serum. Use that first, and then grab whichever eye cream you're going to use and put that on after. Those creams will not conduct your microcurrent, but the heat from your Rejuvenator, the heat that builds in this, will help those other eye creams to penetrate. So you're still going to get a good result. So first of all, though, you've got to do around just using a gel. So it could be Michelle Corley's eye gel, or it could be Neogenesis's eye serum gel. Do that first, so you're conducting and getting that ATP action that you want, and then use the heat from your Rejuvenator to drive those other moisturizers into the skin, if you want to do it that way. The way that I just showed you is I use it with my gel, and then I just put my cream on top. So I don't use the Rejuvenator for that part, because I'm really focusing on the eyes and my lips as well. But you could definitely do it where you do the eye gel first, then you apply your eye cream, and you could use the Rejuvenator with both those steps. Hope that answered your questions. If not, pop back in here and ask again. Sarah, again, too much to layer at a given time. Yes, too many. You don't want to layer all of those. So do alternate days. You don't have to use the same thing morning and night. You can use your Neogenesis eye serum morning and night, but alternate with your creams. See which cream that you like best during the daytime. Some eye creams don't work well with makeup, and it'll make the makeup pill a little bit on some people, and then other creams work better and don't do that. So if you have one that's causing a little pilling, use that one at nighttime when you're not worried about that. But alternate. It's good to feed the skin something different, and just alternate from time to time. Every time you take care of your eyes, use a different eye cream. Since you've got 3 fantastic eye creams there, just rotate through them. Yeah, don't layer them. I think that's going to just be too much, and you can only put so much in your skin, and then it's just not going to absorb anything more. Okay, Sophie says, I noticed that Scopula and Hevatox is not in your new regimen. Could you talk about who should continue with these products? Sure. So Hevatox and Scopula are very important, and what I use for my clients generally in their later 60s, 70s, and 80s. But that doesn't mean you have to wait to use it till then. I have a lot of people who use it in their 30s, and I don't really feel like they need it in their 30s, but if you love it, use what you love. It's all good for you. There's so many great ingredients in those products. But when I'm dialing in and getting really focused on doing some correction and working on specific things in people's skin, generally when I'm seeing my mom's skin, somebody who just has permanent folds and permanent lines in their skin, that's when I'm grabbing those products, because those products are going to be some of the only products that make a big difference in their skin. So for me, I get that plumpness that you would use Cavapla for. I get that plumpness from my Ultimate Hydration Gel from Michelle Corley. It's a fraction of the cost, and that works really well for me. If I wanted to just say I just wanted one step, I didn't want to have so many steps as I have, I might just use Cavapla and then just Hevatox. Hevatox in particular, you pull that in when you're seeing those lines on the face, like I have mine here, I have some smile lines here. When you see those really deepening, those expression lines are just getting deeper and deeper and becoming folds in the skin. That's when you really want to go after those spots with your Hevatox. So I have Hevatox on my counter, and occasionally I do grab it and rub it into these little lines on my forehead. And I see a big difference when I do that. But as you can see, I have a pretty big routine. I have some pretty important things that I'm targeting within my face. And so you just can't use everything. Maybe you can, and you certainly could add Cavapla to what I've done. If you do want to add Cavapla to my routine, just replace Ultra Hydration Gel with Cavapla. That stuff is amazing, and you get compliments on your skin every time you use it, right? So you could replace that and have Cavapla there. And then when you finish, after you put on your moisturizers, but before your sunscreen, you could put on your Hevatox Gold Serum. And then you could work that into those areas where you have lines on your face and really massage it in well so those gold flakes really break up and get into the skin, and let it dry, put on your sunscreen, your makeup, and you're good to go. So when you're using a product like Hevatox that has so many freezing peptides in it, generally you want to put it on last, because you just want to put it on and then not touch it too much and let it do its work. So that's how I use Cavapla and Hevatox. If you have more questions about it, just ask them here or reach out to my live chat and ask them more about it. But I do absolutely adore those products. It's just, for me, it's just, I rotate through things. So I did use Hevatox and Cavapla a lot earlier in the summer, and now I'm feeding my skin something different. So I don't stay on all the same products all year round. I find that my skin needs a change. Like some people talk about their hair, right? And they say, well, I can use the same thing on my hair for 6 weeks and then I have to change it up, or my hair just gets flat, or it doesn't look the same. It's kind of that way with your skin as well. It's just good to rotate your skincare diet through the seasons and give it something different. So when I do come back to Cavapla, maybe I'll come back to it later in the spring or the summer, and my skin's going to love it, and it's me getting something new on it, and it'll be great. All right. Valentina says, I too use the eye rejuvenator every evening with the eye serum topped with conductive gel like Lemieux. Then I put on nourishing eye cream and it works. That's great. I like to do it in the morning because I'm a simple person at nighttime. I just don't have that much energy. So I do mine in the morning, but doing it at night is just great too, and not a problem. I'm glad that Valentina has found a way that works for her. Melissa says, Happy New Year's. Which SPF are you using during the winter time? So I've gone in the summer, I was using more of the drops, and I was using Extreme from Is Clinical Extreme during the summertime. During the winter, I really love Eclipse. So I'm using Is Clinical Eclipse. It's an SPF 50. It's a natural block, and I'm using the tint Perfect Beige. And I find that just makes a perfect primer for my foundation. So I put that on and then put my foundation on, and it works really great. All right. Valentina says, I also use a small humidifier near my bed at night. Yes, that's a great suggestion. I do the same thing. Anytime you can get a humidifier going in your room or your home, it's going to help your skin tremendously. Thank you, Valentina. Sarah says, how many minutes do you use the light stim on your neck? So what I'm doing is I listen for the beeps. I do one side of the face till it beeps, the other side till it beeps, and then I do the neck and chest till it beeps. So maybe somebody will pipe in and tell you how many minutes that is. I think maybe it's 3 minutes between each beep, but I can't remember. I just do it. Okay. And then Joseph says, good afternoon. I saw your new device. I am currently using the Wave, the Sunflower, the Dermadisc. How do I bring your new device into my routine? So Joseph is talking about the new MyoLift, and it's a microcurrent device. And there are so many ways to use that, Joseph. Essentially, if you want, you could use it once or twice a week to do a nice firming treatment. But there's so many aspects to the Tri-Wave. You can use it for rejuvenating. You can use it for detoxifying the skin, for just increasing ATP and keeping those cells really healthy. You can use it for more toning and firming. And then you can also use it to release tension lines around the face. So there's a lot of different ways that you can use it. And we'll talk more about that as time goes on. And I'll also be talking more about the Dermadisc as well, because we should be getting a delivery any day now, our next delivery of Dermadiscs, and we'll talk more about that. Yes, Joseph says the MyoLift. Yeah, it's the MyoLift Tri-Wave. And there's so many ways you could do it. You could use it on a daily basis for a little bit on the Rejuve setting. You can do it for a weekly lifting and firming treatment. You can it's just so flexible, Joseph. You can put a mask on your face and put an electrode here, an electrode here or here, and just sit back and relax for 20 minutes and increase the ATP and detoxify the skin. There's just so many ways to use that in your routine. Okay. And Joseph says he's using the light stim daily at night. It's so awesome for you. And it's good that you are so young and you're doing this now. It really will pay off for you. Is there any serums that you should not be using with your light stim that will block? So essentially, any kind of clear serum, any serum without oil in it is all going to be great. And in fact, light stim even says that you can put moisturizers on with it and the light will still get through there. You wouldn't want to put a sunscreen on. I'm hesitant about using the retinol cream and then putting it on. If you're using a retinol product, you might want to wait and do your retinol product after you finish your light stim treatment. So if you're like me and you like to do it before you go to sleep at night next to your bed, then just keep your bottle of retinol next to the bed as well and put that on after you finish. Of course, you're going to want to rinse your hands too, though, right? So I have done it. I put on my Emapel night cream, which has the retinol and everything, and then done my light stim over the top, and I have not had a problem with it. But it's not what works for one person's skin may not work for another person's skin. So sometimes it just takes a little trial and error. But the fact is that light stim says that you can use the light stim over any of your creams except sunscreen, and you will still get full penetration. The light stim is that strong. So give that some thought and experiment with it. Joseph says, I've stopped using the Claire Blend Mini. Will the MyoLift be a replacement? Yes. The MyoLift does so much more than the Claire Blend Mini. You just have so much more flexibility, and you can really control what kind of wave you're wanting to send the skin, whether you want to have a rejuvenating, detoxifying wave, or you want to have a wave that is building and firming, or you want to have a wave that is releasing the tension. So you can choose with my device which kind of microcurrent wave that you want. The Claire Blend Mini currently just sends random waves at your skin, and then it's just hopeful that one of those waves is going to trigger the right thing and you're going to see some positive results. It's kind of, at this point, it's getting a little bit archaic because microcurrent is going to that next level. We're taking that science to the next level, and we're really discovering what the different waveforms do and being more targeted with their use. The eye rejuvenator and the mini, they're still great devices that will increase ATP, but they're not taking it to that next level that we do with the tri-wave. Okay. Great. Well, you guys, I think we made it through all the questions. Oh, no, here's another one down here. Melissa says, I'm getting over a 2-week cold and the skin over my lip and my nose are so raw. What would you recommend to help heal that? So this is the one that I recommend every winter for everybody. And that is to go on the website and look at Hail and Hush and go to saffron meristem cream. I've had winters where I just couldn't get the peeling to stop. This little frenulum here would just be so dried out. And then I discovered saffron meristem cream from Hail and Hush, and that just heals it right up. Anytime you have raw skin on your face, that's the thing that you want to grab and put on there. Or if you're starting to use retinol and it's a little too strong for you or having a little too much reaction, layer the saffron meristem underneath the retinol at first. And then as you're getting used to it, then put it on top of the retinol. And that works really well. But yeah, I know how you feel. And definitely I would go get that Hail and Hush saffron meristem. That's going to heal those tissues for you. Okie dokie. We made it through. Oh, and just in time. You're welcome, Melissa. I hope you feel better. So we did it. It's been the full hour. We made it through my entire collection that I'm using on my skin. I hope you guys enjoyed that. And just know that I don't expect this to be the routine that everybody does. This routine works for my skin goals and my lifestyle and what I like to do. I find it very nurturing to use a number of different products on my skin. This routine is not for everybody. There might be some variation of this routine that's better for you. A nice thing to do is reach out at Art of Skincare and do either a customized protocol, which is very inexpensive. And with that program, we'll create a protocol using products that you have and maybe add in a few other products that we know are going to be key to helping you achieve your skincare goals. Or you could do our healthy aging coaching. With healthy aging coaching, we're going to go over all of your skincare head to toe. We'll look at what kind of facials you're doing for yourself at home. We also look at what kind of devices would be good for your skin. And then you get a couple of check-ins after that. So we monitor you a little bit and make sure that you're on the right track with your new skincare routine. So doing one of those, or if you're acne prone, definitely do our acne coaching because the acne coaching changes lives. Morgan works with those clients and she's been working with me for a long time now. She started actually working with me right out of high school. And then she went to school to become an esthetician and she worked for me while she was in aesthetic school. And then afterwards, and I'm trying to think how many years, I think it's been 5 or 6 years. She could probably pop on here if she's listening, but 5 or 6 years that she's been just treating acne and she's really good at it. Really great. If she ever gets stuck, she reaches out to me and we brainstorm for you guys on what could we do next? And that's a lot of fun. So anyway, doing one of our consultation programs can help you dial in the skincare routine that's just right for you, because maybe you only want 1 or 2 steps in the morning and at night, or maybe you want something even more advanced than what I'm using. We can do that. We can work with your budget, your time constraints, and what makes your skin feel good to help you get the skincare results that you want to achieve for your skin. So you guys have a great day and I will see you again next week. Bye-bye.